So much for taking the time to sitting down with me. My first question would be, were you born between 1981 and 1996?
Yes.
Okay. It's correct that you are currently working in consulting, correct?
Yes.
Is it just a job for you, or is it more of a career?
It's definitely a career. This is what I always aim to do, and I'm very fortunate to be in the position to be working in this company.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if I see
Yeah.
myself doing this long term
Okay.
due to the não precisas mais.
No. We'll get there definitely.
Okay.
So, what attracts you in working in consulting?
It's the ability to play a role in many different things. I think it's the having the possibility to interact with lots of people and having the space to conceptualize solutions uh, that will be useful and that will be helpful for organizations.
Okay. And what do you take in consideration when you're looking for a job in consulting or analyzing a job offer?
Um, for me, what matters the most is the type of challenges or the type of challenges that the company is able to face, the lines of business that it has, and what kind of solutions they can deliver for clients.
And how do you see that in a job offer?
I mostly check the websites for consulting companies and see what they are working on and
Mm-hmm.
what kind of solutions they advertise on their
Mm-hmm.
communication channels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then based on that, I try to analyze if that would be something that I would be interested or not in
Okay.
participating.
Is there something else you might look at?
Um, I see maybe the sectors of the companies, what kind of sectors they interact with,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly I'm focused on the types of solutions they're able to deliver and what I think my contribution can be towards those solutions.
Okay. My next question would be like, which of these are most important to you?
Okay.
But then I would say that you already mentioned that it's the type of challenges that they work on in the industry. Is this correct of me to assume?
Yeah.
Okay. And which one would you say is least important to you when looking at a job offer?
Mm, what would be least important? I don't know, maybe the ranking of the consulting firm. They say I don't care as much if it's a big, well-renowned company or a smaller one, as long as the what their field of action is interests me and is something that I can see myself working on.
Okay. And switching a bit of gears, like what do you expect of your coworkers?
Um, I expect companionship or camaraderie in the sense of helping one another. I think we in consulting especially we feel the changes that are going on and they're very quick in the markets,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's really useful to work with people who have faced certain challenges or can draw from their experience. And I value coworkers that are energetic, that are proactive, that are friendly, and that enjoy working together, and that give the extra mile. So they push themselves and push the others towards a common goal. They work in it as a team.
Can you perhaps give me an example of this?
Of camaraderie in my team in my company.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Yeah, we do experience it a lot in my company. We have a rather small team of consultants, and so we do rely a lot on, perhaps more often than should be, on we do have to give, what I mean is we do have to give the extra mile a lot because we're just a small team.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I've always felt like if there's a late night coming, or if there's anything, if anyone is off work for a while, they will offer their time to help, and that's something that's really valued.
Okay. And what do you expect of your superiors in the workplace?
Guidance, understanding. Hopefully, they've been through the realms of consulting in the same way that I'm going through right now. But mostly guidance, and guidance in how to navigate the world of consultancy and the career of consultancy and our consulting, and how to handle clients, how to handle new situations.
So, is there any particular example of this that you've already felt, that you felt guided by your superiors?
Yeah, I do think that going to clients' meetings with someone who is far superior than you in the hierarchy does give you a lot of perspective as to what client relationships can be. And especially if you're with someone, which was my case, someone who is comfortable, who is confident in their relationship with clients. Yeah, it gives you a lot of insight as to what you can do as a consultant in the client's workspace, and what you can suggest and how you can position yourself.
Okay. Has there been any situation in which you felt there was understanding on behalf of your superiors towards you?
Yeah, many times. I think consultancy, the field is hard, and it does demand a lot of you. And so I do feel like there's understanding from my superiors, because they said it as well. They've been through it, so it really is something that they can help with.
Okay. And once again, I gotta ask this: can you give me an example of a specific situation where you felt this understanding from your superiors?
Yeah, I think I felt specific understanding from my superiors. Yeah, in my company we have a mentoring program, and so I have a mentor that really helps me navigate situations where I'm overwhelmed, or where the workload, I may feel the workload needs adjustment. And I have felt understanding and this companionship I mentioned before from my superiors, from my mentors. And yeah, they have been very understanding, and also tried to provide me with guidance through their experience.
Okay. Okay. And what do you expect of your company?
What do I expect of my company in terms of?
Sometimes we have this idea of the company, what they should offer us, or this entity, this over.
Okay.
Do I make myself understood?
I think what I expect from my company at the moment, with how things are going, is I expect that if I put in a lot of effort, that is also recognized by the company and people in general, or people in general. I mean, people within the company. So I think that's what I expect the most, is to have some validation that my work, of my evolution, if there is such, and validation in terms of progressively enhancing my responsibilities and my positioning within the company.
Mhm. Out of curiosity, is that something you look forward to?
What do you mean? My career, my progression in the career?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least for now. Yeah.
Okay. And what are you willing to offer in return
To the company.
to the company and to your coworkers, to your superiors, to everyone around you?
Right now, what I'm willing to offer is the best of my efforts into being successful in our approach to clients and in our responsibilities as consultants. So that's what I'm mostly willing to offer, and putting in my best efforts, putting in the best of my abilities to deliver work. And if that means putting in the hours, putting in the resources, then that's what I'm willing to do.
Okay, let me think for a second here. The best. Out of, just for me to try to get a better grasp of this, what would be giving too much for you? Where do you draw the line?
I think once I think consulting can be a bit all too consuming, because it is a lot of hard work, and you do have a lot of not power but a lot of presence in what you do. And so I do see how people can get consumed by it, in the sense of putting in many extra hours and staying late and um, giving their lives almost on behalf of consulting. And I think for me, that's something that, even though I love consulting right now, and I love it as a job, I love it as a profession, and I love that I have the chance to do it, I still very much value my personal time, and I value being a person other than just being a consultant. So I think if it came to a point that I was missing out on a lot of just personal time, and I was suffering because of it, then I think that would be too much.
Okay. Okay. Going on also again on another different path. So between two very similar job offers, what would make you choose one over the other?
If possible, having a feel for the company and understanding a feel for the company, and understanding where I would feel better as an employee.
And what would make you feel better as an employee?
I think it has a lot to do with the people who work there, the space. And if there's a possibility, before working at the company where I work now, I had visited the office, I had been there. So I already had a feeling for that before I arrived. And I think that's very positive, to know that you're going to feel like that you can spend your days working in that office with those people, that you have a sense of friendliness from the people, because you do spend, it is true that you spend a lot of time with your coworkers, so it's incredibly reassuring when you feel like you are amongst people who will make your days better, or at least not make them worse, and it will be and it will be a positive experience to work in that environment.
Or at least it won't be a negative one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And so my final two questions are, what would make you leave your job in consulting right now? Or better yet, what would make you leave your current position in consulting?
In going into another job or going to another firm?
It can be, let's consider right now, imagine that someone else makes you another offer and you decide to take it, or something happens in your company and you decide that you cannot continue working in this company, but you can continue working in consulting, basically.
Okay. And can you repeat the question then, please?
So what would make you leave your job in consulting?
Again, I think it's a matter of balance. If consulting, or if a job became too demanding of and went a bit beyond my borders in terms of what I can give to being a job and what I can give to being a person, being an individual outside my job, or even with my job in my perspectives, I think that would be a moment where I would reconsider if I would continue in consulting.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, I think that's the main thing.
And what would make you leave consulting altogether? As in, you're gonna start working in a completely, not in consulting, basically.
Yeah, I think this is something I do think quite a bit. I think in consultancy, it can be the case in some companies, if not all. Sorry, can you hear me?
No. I'm just saying that you can take your time to think about it.
No, I think I have my answer. I think for a lot of companies in consulting, once you go higher in the hierarchy, your focus is less on delivering work for your clients and more on selling. So you have to be more sales driven, and I'm not much of a sales driven person. So I think that will be or would be a big challenge in what it comes to my future in consultancy. So I think if it came to a point in my career where I would have to have a bigger sales drive in order to continue, I think that would be probably the time where I leave consultancy.
Okay. Honestly, that's it from my side. Yeah. I'm gonna stop recording now, okay?
Okay.